Oklahoma, their All-American Reagan Beers is back. She returned for the Missouri game over the weekend after missing 2 straight games with illness. What should we expect from her tonight?
Well, they definitely have the size advantage with her on the court, and they only scored 70 points without her in the lineup, and they got out-rebounded in a very close Auburn game. So they will need her if they want to control the paint tonight.
Referees tonight, Brian Hall, Angelica Suffren, Joseph Vasili, and they're getting some things cleared up here courtside. Lace them up. These two teams both like to get up and down the floor. Beers is set to jump center against Camille Pierre. Fans rising to their feet on Fan Appreciation Night. Free tickets tonight for fans at the Lloyd Noble Center. The tap volleys right into the hands of Michaela Blakes. Raina Scott matches up with her in an Oklahoma man-to-man.
I think you're going to see a lot of defenders on Blakes tonight.
This is Pierre trying to back down Skylar Van. Oliver, little hesitation. Jordan Oliver misses the first try, and Beers has the rebound.
You can already see a ton of attention on Blakes and Pierre as they catch the ball.
See where these two teams rank, and the scoring has started with the sophomore Raina Scott, the opening deuce for Oklahoma.
Raina Scott moving into the starting lineup midway through SEC play. Coach Bronchek loves her physicality at that point guard position.
Blake's shot sent right back at her by Scott. Blake's got it back. Little teardrop that lands for Camille Pierre. As we take a look at the Oklahoma starting 5. Raina Scott making her 7th consecutive start for the Sooners. And Skylar Van, the Big 12 co-player of the year a season ago. The super versatile Peyton Verhulst had a triple-double earlier this season. Blake's off the mark with her first 3. Skylar Van, the rebound. We'll see her sister Zaya later on tonight as well. Zahara Williams lines up for 3 and knocks that one down. A very much improved part of her game this year.
Absolutely. The possession before that, she threw it right to the Vanderbilt defender, but I think that's what Coach Bronchek loves about Zahara Williams. She's just not afraid. She'll come right back at it. She said she's not really effective when she makes mistakes, which is such a testament to who she is as a player. And there we see Blakes hit her first 3 of the game. That's a good sign for the Commodores here early.
Quick response for Vanderbilt. You've got Blakes and Pierre in the starting 5. Also have the very steady Ayanna Moore. She can stay out of foul trouble, and Jordan Oliver, kind of the veteran, the glue of this Vanderbilt club. A run, Verhulst off the 3-point line. Van, good mid-range game, but off the mark with that one, and rebounded by Jane Waba.
We talked about a lot about the offense of both of these teams, but both these teams are excellent defensive teams as well.
Blakes got around Scott, lost it out of bounds. It'll stay here. Beers touched it last. Sooner head coach Jenny Baranchek tonight. It can be 4 for 4 with 20-win seasons, and they'll be headed to the NCAA tournament for the 4th straight year. As of tonight, they are the number 15 seed overall nationally by the NCAA committee, and that would make them a host team for the first 2 rounds.
Which is huge, right? You get to come home, you get to play the first couple rounds. Last year, they lost 2nd round at Indiana when they were a 5 seed, so it makes such a difference when you're playing in front of your home crowd.
Van had that rebound and, poked out of bounds by Waba.
You see the rebounding battle early here. Coach Baranchek at the end of shoot-around said it's going to be decided on the boards. We're going to have to rebound.
Wide open look. Verhulst makes the Commodores pay defensively. Oklahoma, a couple of early 3s made. One by Williams, one by Verhulst. Moore steps back and lines up a 3. That one's good. So they've had the answer when the Sooners have had a little lead.
We'd love to see Ayanna Moore get going early. Oh, there's the steal.
And Beers with her first deuce of the night, just as you said, great post position inside.
Great post, but even better vision by Skylar Van. That window is so small. It looks so open, but it's so small. You've got a defender right in your face, and it was an excellent feed.
Moore cut off by Van. Blakes couldn't get the 3 triggered. Does this time. That one drops. She's got 2 already from out there.
She's feeling it. You see the respect Raina Scott gives to her on that drive. Michaela Blakes so quick to the rim. You got to take a step when she takes it. But Michaela Blakes with such control, she's able to, jab and really make it, sell it, right? And then step back and hit that 3. She's so talented.
Shea Ralph also in her 4th season as head coach at Vanderbilt took the Commodores to the NCAA tournament last season for the first time since 2014. And they have a chance at back-to-back 20-win seasons. Would be the first time since 2012 that happened for the Commodores. Skylar Van, an offensive rebound.
great to see her getting started on the boards early for Oklahoma.
Sister Zaya, the freshman, drops down the three. So Skylar gets the reset. Zaya gets the triple.
Both teams shooting incredibly well early in the first here.
Blake's little rub screen on top. Here's Pierre. A little height advantage and strength advantage, but couldn't get the finish.
Pretty good defense there by the freshman, staying in front.
Lexi Keys off the bench, lets it fly. And there's Skylar Van, another retrieval. Zaya Van for three again, drops that one. 2 offensive rebounds and 2 threes. The Sooners traveling by Van in the early going.
Skylar struggled early in SEC play, has played much better the last 2 games against Auburn and Missouri, but Coach Baranczyk says that she knows Skylar's invested and involved in the game when she's getting offensive rebounds.
Oklahoma is 4 of 6 from three-point range already. Here's Pierre. In and out, and Lexi Keys rebounds the miss. Zaya Van races to the bucket. Rebounded by Verhulst. Oklahoma is on the offensive glass. Keys a 3. And Skylar Van with her 3rd offensive rebound. Verhulst, not this time. Commodores want to run. Oliver, one-on-one against Keys. Knocks her over and can't finish. This one is rebounded by Moore, and a held ball. Possession arrow goes the other way.
What an interesting exchange on these 2 teams.
That's a good way to put it.
I'm sure Oklahoma would like to see it going inside a little bit more, but she doesn't want them passing up open shots. We've talked a lot about their turnovers this season, and a lot of those Coach Baranczyk contributes to passing up those open looks and hesitating on offense. So
Oklahoma rebounds. They are 3rd nationally in rebounds per game. It's almost subtly how they gather rebounds on you, but they're up +5 on the boards already. Anna Mitchell operating and maybe got that free arm out into Skylar Van. It's an offensive foul on Ayanna Mitchell.
Skylar Van, excellent defense there, staying square with Ayanna Mitchell. Here's Michaela Blakes. Just Raina Scott stepping back. Blakes making her pay from downtown. And here comes Peyton Verhulst to Zaya Van. Oklahoma up 5.
A big part of her game. It looks like she may have a little scratch on her face from early on, but you know, just talking with Shea Ralph about her, she is a competitor. There's not much of anything that phases this freshman, and that's one of the reasons she's been so good so quickly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In that 55-point game, she actually only made 2 threes. You'd think that she made like 10 with 55 points, but not really the biggest part of her game, but tonight already hitting 2. But her mentality, her confidence, she said she really raises her team's belief system, which I think is such a testament.
Over the top, it's Culleton who's into the game to Beers, who has her 2nd bucket.
Culleton has done such a great job these last few games with Beers out of the lineup, and Beers comes back in, and she just continues to produce.
Well, off the mark with her first trigger is Justine Bissat, the Tennessee transfer. And back to the Sooners. So part of the game for Vanderbilt is getting to the free throw line and not settling for threes. Must that change?
I think it will. I think the flow of the game will give way to it changing. I think when you hit 2 in a row, it's okay to take a few more. But yeah, they want to get to the rim. They want to get to the free throw line.
Commodores love to trap and force turnovers just like that one. And that will be a traveling violation against Ayanna Mitchell as Oklahoma rotated back defensively.
Vanderbilt calls it their opportunistic defense. Not really much rhyme or reason, but just take advantage when backs are turned or ball screens happen and throw a random trap in there.
And Oklahoma has had difficulties, much talked about. In fact, they're probably tired of hearing about the turnovers. Foul, a little bump from behind against Bissat.
Both teams love this action around the high post area, trying to take advantage of their fours ability. Oklahoma trying to get it down low to Beers, and Vanderbilt trying to get that high post and screening position.
Under 4 to play here. Oklahoma has an 8-0 run going. Vanderbilt has not scored in 3 minutes. Culleton back to Beers. Kind of falling down, and that will be a foul on a rebound. I think they get Sahara Williams for that one. Just have to check and make sure. It is Sahara Williams. That is her first. Commodores are letting Camille and Pierre have a little bit of a breather right now. So a lot of the offense will go to Blake's, like that fall away. And there's Reagan Beers up over everybody to take that one. Zaya Van and Sahara Williams. Williams off the mark with that one. Good job scrambling for that one by Ayanna Mitchell. Mitchell just a sophomore. So much of the core of this Vanderbilt team very youthful. Zaya Van blocks the shot of Madison Green. Culleton chases it down and traveled with it.
She did travel, but I think Oklahoma's okay with it. I think they love her aggressiveness to the rim. And here's the block by Zaya. Quick to the ball. Her defensive play has really elevated into SEC play. She struggled a little bit in the middle of the season, just freshman things, trying to get through a really tough season, but her defense has elevated and it's really sparked her offense. This
has been Jenny Baranczyk's best defensive team at Oklahoma.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree with that 100%.
Green turns down the shot this time. Now Blake's with under 15 to shoot. Keys in her hip pocket. Got the shot away. It was contested, though. This one volleys up into the air, and Sahara Williams grabs it.
It was excellent defense by Keys there on the ball screen. Oklahoma, such a deep team. They're going to be able to put a ton of players in there on Blake.
Sahara Williams knocks down the triple. That is her second of the night.
She's only shooting 30-ish% for the season, but she's gotten so much better on that outside shot, and she doesn't hesitate at all. She's ready to shoot when she catches it.
Such a worker, even to the point of teammates saying, I have to work because she's working so hard.
Yeah, we talk about elevating play. That girl elevates just the competitiveness that's in the gym. She's just going to fight you.
Pierre misses from the foul line. And Oklahoma is +7 on the boards, 14-7. That'll be a traveling violation against Sahara Williams. So I'm talking with Jenny Baranczyk about the turnovers. They have been a huge topic of conversation. And she said, you kind of have to come up with some that you can live with and some you absolutely can't live with.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see that beautiful shot from Sahara from the corner there. But yes, Coach Baranczyk talking about those live ball turnovers are deadly. They're going to lead to pick sixes, layups on the other end. Here's Masat coming in. She's a three-point shooter is what she's going to do. But the dead ball turnovers, I think she can live with. She can live with the post-feed turnovers.
Burholz back in for the Sooners, misses the floater. Run out here for Blake. She's got Pierre with her. And Liz Scott rotates back and swats it away for Oklahoma. You talk about this Oklahoma depth. Now you've got Liz Scott. Nevaeh Todd, who has started most every game of her career, is coming off the bench now for the Sooners.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt coming off 2 overtime games, 1 double overtime, 1 single overtime game, and Michaela Blake played 45 minutes against their last opponent, Auburn, their last overtime game. So, you know, they're battling fatigue. This is late in the SEC schedule, and you have Oklahoma, who I think Peyton Burholz is leading the minutes at 30. So it's quite the difference in minutes played.
What a rally by the Commodores. Down 15, get it to overtime, and Blake's just kind of took it over. That was after losing their prior game in overtime to Mississippi State in double overtime.
Yeah, Blake hits 3 free throws with 0.9 seconds to send it into overtime. Just incredible pressure, game management by the freshman.
That's 9 3-point tries for the Commodores. They've made 3. 1 minute to play in the opening period. 11-0 Oklahoma run. Liz Scott fouled as she tries to post. In Oklahoma, they've got these multiple players who can post you.
Yeah, and that's what they've been working on all year. You see Liz Scott recognize she had the smaller green on her, and Oklahoma's ability to pass it around the horn and get it to her at the right time is what they've really grown in as an offense this year.
Jenny Baranczyk got to be thrilled with the defense. Vanderbilt has missed its last 10 from the field. So some substitutions. Ayanna Moore back in. Looks like Jane Waba returns as well for the Commodores. Shot clock under 15. Good ball movement. Skylar Van off foot. And a held ball there. Liz Scott gets tied up with Camille Pierre. Possession arrow favors Vanderbilt.
Oklahoma shot 11-3 so far, but it's because the Vanderbilt defense is in the paint completely. There's so much respect for these Oklahoma post players. They're really sagging off and allowing Oklahoma to shoot that perimeter shot. So Oklahoma trying to get it in the paint, trying to get something going inside.
Commodores haven't scored in the last 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
I think on the flip side, it's kind of the same for Oklahoma. They're trying to keep Vanderbilt in front, forcing that outside shot. And Vanderbilt hitting early, struggling late. So they need to get in the paint, get something going at the rim.
Oliver with 10 to shoot, trapped. Nice cut by Blakes, and she finds the backboard.
Excellent movement. They continue to move when the play breaks down. That's what Shayroff wants to see, movement, and that's tough to teach young players how to keep moving, play within the offense.
It stops an 11-0 Oklahoma run. Blakes has 8 of the 13 Vanderbilt points in the opening period. Final look goes to the Sooners, who will take it. Sahara Williams will, and that'll close the opening 10, 21-13 Oklahoma at the end of the first period. Back to the Lloyd Noble Center in just a moment on SEC Network.
Those first 2 games really invaluable.
And overall in Charlie Cream's ESPN bracketology, 10 SEC teams in the field. As of now, here's what's remaining for Oklahoma: road trips, and then closing things out against an Alabama team that's gotten really hot. Crimson Tide, they have won 4 in a row for Christy Curry. This balanced defensive team. And Jenny Baranchek's team right now in position to be a host at the Lloyd Noble Center for the first time since 2022, her first season in Norman.
Yeah, and all they have to do is take care of business, and I think they know that at Oklahoma. I think you're going to see the veteran leadership really take over down the stretch here.
Trends in this game: no free throws shot in the first quarter. Oklahoma making a lot of threes and also finding Reagan Beers, the All-American, a good number of times.
Yeah, their passing, interior passing has improved greatly throughout the season. See Peyton Burholz there just tossing a dime to Beers.
6 points for Reagan Beers so far. Kayla Blakes leads all scorers with 8 for the Commodores. Here she is. Oliver, foul line jumper is down.
That's what Oliver can do. She loves that mid-range, and you see all the attention Blakes gets. She's going to draw 3 players, and her teammates are going to get open looks.
Third stop on the collegiate path for Oliver. Prior stops at Duke and at Baylor, where she played against Oklahoma in the Big 12. That's a foul on Scott that heads the other way. Look at that bracketology we talked about, and the 10 SEC teams that would be in. It's crazy.
Man, it's tough playing in the SEC, but the advantage you have going into the tournament, you've already seen so many of these teams.
Almost play games where you have nothing to lose because you're just not going to drop anywhere, even if you lose that game.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at these top 3 seeds, they're 3 of the top teams in the country. It's really amazing. You're really prepared for so many defenses too. You go and you face a different team from a different conference, and you faced, some of the best already. So it really does prepare you.
That went out of bounds and back the other way to the Commodores. Jenny Baranchek saying this week that it feels like the floodgates may be about to open for this team.
Yeah, she feels like they might be on the brink. She's felt like that for a few games now, but they really haven't had a game where they put it all together. So I think it's hopeful in Norman. I think they're excited about what they could do.
Burholz got the block from behind right there. There's Beers in traffic. And Skylar Vann, the pass a little too tall for her.
I think it's just like that play. It's like so close. They've got all the concepts and she's putting it all together. I don't think you talk enough about how difficult it is to put 10 great players on the court and allow them to play and come in and be for each other seamlessly. So Oklahoma's been tackling that all season, and hopefully they're hoping it'll pay off.
Oliver drives it in and then traveled with it as Beers impacting things with that presence that she has inside.
Yeah, she just takes up so much space. They're great drivers. They want to get to the rim. They've shot 0 free throws so far, which is a huge story. Vanderbilt loves to get to the line. One of the best free throw shooting teams in the country, and has not shot at all.
Skylar Vann drills the mid-range jumper, and Oklahoma leads by 10.
And that's exactly what Coach Baranchek says she can do. She can hit that open mid-range jumper, and she's going to get it.
Blake's fouled, And this is becoming a big storyline. These will be the first 2 free throws shot by Vanderbilt tonight. And here we are 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, Blake shot 24 the other night against Auburn en route to that 55 points. Made 23 of them, so an extremely good free throw shooter.
And Vanderbilt has taken the most, made the most, and shot the highest percentage from the foul line amongst teams in the SEC. That was their first try of the night. Blake's, to remember, she didn't play basketball really until she was 12 years of age. And that's a quick learning curve.
She is a talented individual.
She's averaging 27 a game in conference play. That leads all SEC performers. And there she is in the passing lane. 2-on-1 with Moore. Blake should take it herself, and Verhulst fouled her. That is what Vanderbilt loves to do. Force turnovers and get out and take advantage.
Yeah, and get to that free throw line. And Blake, I think the most impressive thing about her is she's a freshman. She's in the SEC. She's not scoring 50 in non-conference games. It's like the middle of SEC play against the best defenders in the country. And night after night, she's drawing the #1 on the scouting report. She's getting other teams' best defenders. And doing what she's been able to do is really remarkable.
She called Shea Ralph and the staff to announce her commitment to them when they were on the bus on the way back from a loss to Tennessee. And during that phone conversation, Shea Ralph told Michaela Blix, "You're going to be the difference maker against Tennessee next year." And indeed she was. She had the game-winning basket as they beat the Vols for the first time in 6 seasons.
That's so cool.
Liz Scott strong inside for 2, and great Sooner passing as well.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Vanderbilt sagging off a little bit to pack that paint, allowing those guards to really have great vision inside. So interesting to see if Vanderbilt adjusts that.
Moore in and out with that one. Verhulst fouled on the rebound as Waba commits the personal. Coach is really shuffling the chess pieces right now, aren't there? There's a lot of trying to figure out what piece is going to work against which other lineup.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt down to Mitchell, back out there. Sott, Blakes, and Pierre getting a break as Kapanis and Moore are out there. Here's Verhulst. Verhulst's been relatively quiet for Oklahoma. Zivan had it stripped there by Blakes. And a traveling violation there against Zivan. Now turnovers starting to mount. That's 8 against the Sooners.
It's how quickly it can happen. We've seen it happen so often throughout this conference play. Just these series of runs, and to an extreme level, I think, for every team. You're never really out of a game, no matter how far you're down, because teams can score so quickly. But you've seen that with Oklahoma. These turnovers kind of snowballing on top of each other.
Blake's a step back 3. Banks it home.
She's going to let it fly. Coach Ralph said she's never had to coach her confidence, not once. And that is such a testament to who she is as a player.
14 for Blake's. She's made 3 of 4 from downtown. Commodores back within a half a dozen. Zivan up over 2 defenders, and Passat claims it. Commodores making some headway here in the second period. That's a 2 from Blake's. Verhulst rebounds for Oklahoma. That's her 3rd. Running the floor, Liz Scott fouled. She just beat Mitchell to the other end of the floor.
She did, and then she out-jumped her. She's kind of kept going up, but that's one of those passes that's kind of questionable. It made it that time, but here we see Blake going against Lexi Keys, and she just gets a little breath, and she's able to get it up. And I mean, there's not much you can do about that. You're trying to play her drive and get her some space, but Blake's just such a competitor. She's got that mindset. Coach Ralph talks about the belief she really has in herself and how her teammates really feed off of that.
Reagan Beers is back in for Oklahoma now. Culleton and Tot also. They continue to run Keys off the 3-point line. Verhulst not shy, and that is why.
I feel like you always say Peyton Verhulst's name when they need a bucket. It's just Peyton Verhulst. She's going to come up with a bucket. She's been so clutch for the Sooner team.
Mitchell gives Blakes a little screen. Nevaeh Tot rebounds for Oklahoma. Quick trigger, Verhulst off the mark, and that goes off of Beers and out of bounds back to the Commodores.
the choppiness of the second quarter. The first quarter, it was really back and forth, really smooth. Both teams kind of playing a little bit more in a flow. This quarter's been a little bit more choppy, lots of game stoppage.
Assad left unguarded, and she takes advantage of it. You mentioned she's a three-point shooter. That's her 11th of the year.
Yeah, she can fill it up.
6-point margin. Beers hard post inside, powers her way up, and she earns a pair of free throws.
She definitely earned that. She got fouled, I think, by 2 players on that play.
So Reagan Beers back in the lineup for Oklahoma. And remember, she was not cleared to play an off-season injury until October. So then Oklahoma had to get used to her having this extreme post presence, super talented player in there. Then she had a shoulder injury that kind of had her out a little bit. The illness sidelined her for 2 games. And that hasn't always been easy to work in and out of the lineup with her.
Yeah, I think when you're introducing a new player that's so dynamic like Beers and draws so much attention, it really changes the way you play. So when you're taking her in and out of the lineup, your offense is changing and you're trying to get used to each other and trying to figure out the dynamic. So it's definitely been a battle for Oklahoma this season. But I think trying to see the positive, trying to see that when Beers is out, trying to get everybody else going, and hopefully able to put all the pieces together heading into postseason play. That,
by the way, was the 3rd foul on Mitchell. And then a foul in the backcourt as they ring up Camille Pierre for that personal. We go to break. Midway through quarter number 2, the Sooners lead the Commodores by 7.
More difficult to score. Peyton would be the first one to say it's harder to get a shot up when Reagan's not in the game. So her being in the game is going to draw that attention and really open it up for her teammates.
See Michaela Blakes, 14 points. She's taken 10 shots. The rest of the team has scored only 10. High-low dump down, and Beers up and in again. Beatrice Culleton is so good from that foul line high post spot.
She's so good, almost to the point where Coach Bronchek has to remind her that she's a player too, and she's got to square up and triple threat to the basket. But man, when she gets to that high post, she's dangerous.
Oklahoma with 12 assists on 13 made buckets. But there's Blakes the other way with the counter. She's had a response every time.
I bite my tongue when I said her 3 was not her game. And it absolutely is tonight. 4 for 6 tonight for Michaela Blake.
Sooners with their 9th turnover. Commodores are right there within 6. And only Blakes has gotten going so far.
Sooners averaging 22 turnovers in conference. Has been their Achilles heel.
That's a foul. That's on Culleton.
She put 2 hands on her there. Her confusion. Usually you can hand check with 1. You can have that touch, but the second you put 2, they're going to call it. Trying to stay with Blakes. She's got 2 more. 19 for Blakes now. She's driving under control, and she just kind of gives a little nudge with her shoulder. Caught there with the turnover. This is one of those live ball turnovers, Pierre. That was tipped by Lexi Keys and then skimmed the hand of Kapanis before it went out of bounds. So the 2 teams exchange turnovers. 10 turnovers now for Oklahoma here in the first half. Vanderbilt shooting 34%. And there's a steal. Kapanis, the run out, and missed it. Blakes, no, and Sahara Williams secures it for the Sooners. Back-to-back live ball turnovers from the Sooners. Commodores didn't take full advantage of it. Oklahoma 3 turnovers in the last minute. Tot, the runner, rimmed out. Beatrice Culleton gets a reset. Culleton another, and fouled. Beatrice Culleton continues Oklahoma's assault on the offensive glass. Sooners now with 8 offensive rebounds. Oklahoma's really getting Vanderbilt in rotation defensively, and Vanderbilt doing a nice job collapsing. But when you're in rotation, it's difficult to rebound out of, and Oklahoma's sending quite a few crashers. So you have to remember to go home, go find the person that you can walk out. So here's Beatrice Culleton when
the two-game absence of Reagan Beers was felt by the Sooners. It was Culleton who kind of picked up the slack. She had a 10-rebound game against Ole Miss and 8 against Auburn. And as Jimmy Baranczyk said, the good thing about her is she goes right back to the role that she previously had when Beers was in the lineup.
Yeah, she's just a team player. She does what needs to be done, and she doesn't get her feelings hurt when she gets 4 minutes a game. She's invested in practice. She's invested in film. She's the first person to take accountability, and that's just the kind of person you want on your team.
Lead is 5 for the Sooners. Kind of a low-scoring second quarter for both teams. Scott, triple team, passes out of it, but right into the arms of Kapanis. Tried to hit it ahead to Passat, and the Commodores turn it right back over. He's a little ragged right now. Oklahoma 12 turnovers, Vanderbilt has 7. Oklahoma back to 4 starters out there with the freshman Zaya Van here.
It's just that entry pass. Vanderbilt's baiting that entry pass.
Sahara Williams for 3. And that tipped out of bounds. Zaya Van touched it last for Oklahoma.
Their pressure defensively on that ball pressure. We talked about them sagging earlier and the ability to have vision inside, but now this ball pressure is really getting Oklahoma out of rhythm offensively.
19 first half points for Michaela Blakes. They get it to her once again. Circles around Beers, who blocked the shot out of bounds.
Reagan Beers helping completely off of Jordan Oliver there to get the block.
It's 4 blocks for Oklahoma in the first half. And they foul off the ball. They get Skylar Van for a hold on the inbound play. And that puts the Commodores into the bonus. In fact, both teams will be in the bonus the remainder of this first half. Vanderbilt has shot only 4 free throws so far. And Passat lines up a pair. Strokes that one down. Played her freshman season at Tennessee. This is her second year at Vanderbilt. It's been a fairly regular starter at times. 1 of 2 for her, and Reagan Beers comes down with her 3rd rebound. Van trapped, needs some assistance. Verhulst fouled, and then Beers gets discarded on the backside of this play. She took a tumble. Looks none the worse for wear.
I'm not sure what happened.
She just hit the deck.
Man, maybe John tripped up here. Let's see. Oh.
No, that was a push.
That was a push, yep.
So Reagan Beers is going to shoot a pair. Foul on Oliver. And the first one rims out. Reagan Beers is such a fun personality with this Oklahoma program. There's a little bit of a team mom in her, making blankets for coaching staff and teammates during the Christmas holiday. That's
so sweet.
That's just the side of her. There's got to be an arts and crafts nationwide company and an NIL deal coming, right?
Yeah, she needs to take advantage of that for sure.
Blakes. Kapanis in traffic, somehow got that off. Zaya Van has a rebound for Oklahoma. Up top, Beers.
What a pass.
And a foul on the catch, but it doesn't matter. Both teams are over the foul limits.
And something impressive about Oklahoma is even though they've battled these turnovers, they played tight sometimes this season as a result of that. But here's a freshman, this willingness to put this ball up in the middle of traffic to her center running down the lane. That's just, it's pretty impressive, the risk of it and her ability to do that. And credit to the coaching staff for not discouraging.
So Beers now 3 of 5 at the line tonight. She's got 11 points and 3 rebounds. The largest lead for Oklahoma was 10 in the middle of the first quarter. Beers got them both. Sooners lead settles at 7. And that foul, they'll get Sahara Williams for it. Back to the foul line goes Blakes.
how she gets you. She wants to be at that foul line. She's incredibly efficient. Oh, that's actually Oliver going to the foul line.
So that foul was off the ball.
Off the ball.
And Sahara Williams, 2 fouls, heads to the Oklahoma bench. A little bit of foul trouble. We mentioned Mitchell with 3. Pierre is over on the Vanderbilt bench with 2. And then 2 for Raina Scott and Sahara Williams, who you see over there. 2 of them in the middle of the screen. Check 2. Commodores starting to get to that free throw line. Vanderbilt doesn't have a field goal in 2.5 minutes. Oklahoma in 3.5 minutes, and it's a free throw shooting competition. Yep. You would have loved to have been right in the middle of that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have taken those points, absolutely. Yeah, but free throw competition, Vanderbilt has the edge. They shoot the free throw incredibly well.
Skylar Van to the free throw line. Been on the upward trend, averaging 13 points a game in her last 4 contests. She was the co-Big 12 Player of the Year a season ago, along with another player who's now in the SEC. That's Madison Booker of Texas. What a run the Longhorns are on. Rory Harmon and Taylor Jones, that win over LSU. And they and South Carolina have split their 2 matchups this season at the top of the conference. And Blake's is headed back to the foul line. That's on Verhulst.
It's good to see Texas at full strength. Good to see what they can do. And Roy Harmon finishing her season off well, or her career off well, I would say.
2 more for Blake's. These will be free throws 5 and 6.
They've tightened up the calls here, but it really had started with a ton of Oklahoma turnovers, and that kind of disrupted the flow of the game. And here we are in a free throw shooting battle.
And Blake's has 20 in the opening half. Sooners try to work that high-low into Beers, and she capitalizes again.
It's Reagan Beers versus 4 Vanderbilt defenders. An excellent left-handed finish there.
That's Oklahoma's first field goal in 3.5 minutes. Yet their lead is 7 with under a minute left. Nice ball fake to get free for Kapanis, but she couldn't convert it. Verhulst. And a late whistle and a foul call is going to send Peyton Verhulst to the line. Vanderbilt, they just never cut her off all the way to the bucket.
And Verhulst was surveying the whole time. Finally said, I'll just take it myself. But Shea Ralph not happy with that call.
And it is 3 against Green. So that's 3 on Green. And foul trouble significant because Mitchell has 3 as well. Verhulst makes it an 8-point Sooner lead. Is such a talented player. Leads Oklahoma in assists. You see what she's done in conference play. She's up to scoring by 2 per game. She's got 12 blocks, 41 assists. Got 32 steals as well.
It's pretty good. Her assist turnover ratio is actually 2-1, which on a team that's struggling with their turnover, she's really secure with the ball in her hand.
3 ball is home once again, and Michaela Blakes has 24 in the opening half, keeping Vanderbilt right there.
I mean, she is feeling it. She just kind of looks stone cold too. She just got ice in her veins.
That's a good way to put it. And a whistle. Oliver runs over Reagan Beers. And now Oliver with a little motion toward the officials. She's headed to the other end of the floor.
Teammates trying to keep her in the game here. Pull her off. She's actually the one that Coach Ralph said provided the calm for her team. So
yeah, she's that steadying player that's actually a 6th-year player. Had the injury year in 21-22. And now the referees are going to huddle up. Ryan Hall, Angelica Sufferman, and Joseph Vasily. They may have to go over to the monitor for this one. The initial call, I believe, is just a personal on Oliver. We'll see if it goes any further.
Yeah, and Beers and Oliver have kind of been going at it down there all game. And Oliver, you got to give her credit. She's taking on Reagan Beers, undersized down there, and she's fighting.
Calling the floor is a foul against Vanderbilt, number 11. That play is under review.
So that is Brian Hall. And as you heard him say, it's under review.
One of the things Vanderbilt said is they need to match the physicality of Oklahoma down low. And I think that's what Oliver is trying to bring to this game, is really stand toe-to-toe toe there physically.
So this gives both coaches a chance to huddle up. 8 seconds left here in the half. We'll take another look at it.
The floor was foul Vanderbilt number 11. That call is under review.
At minimum, it's going to be the second personal against Oliver. They could rule it unsportsmanlike. I don't know about a disqualification. So we have... Very good. So it is an intentional foul on both players there, Reagan Beers and Oliver. It'll be Oklahoma ball. They will have it on the sideline. So each player is assessed a foul, and it's an intentional foul on both.
Wow. I would really hate to be these referees trying to decipher all of that. That was an interesting call, though.
After review, the foul on Vanderbilt number 11 has been upgraded to an intentional foul. Also, number 52 White has been assessed an intentional foul for unnecessary contact to the head.
All right, let's look at it one more time, Whitney.
You see Beers trying to cut up, and I think she's getting her arm over her. Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, that's happened a few times with Beers this year. A player who just height-wise is so much smaller, and they get tangled up that way. So intentional both ways, inbound for Oklahoma, and they get a decent look from Verhulst there. And that'll do it for the opening half. Interesting ending, and Oklahoma has a 6-point lead headed to the halftime locker room.
Yes, interesting indeed. But here we have the two stars going at it. Reagan Beers back in the lineup, going to work in the paint. And here's Michaela Blakes lighting it up from 3. We got Oklahoma up 6 heading into half.
Reagan Beers, second game back after missing 2 games with illness. She's had a 14-point first half. Oklahoma 13 assists on 14 made buckets. But that's typical for Jenny Baranczyk's teams. They're second in the country at 21-plus assists per game. And then the Commodores, we know about their free throw shooting prowess. They outshot Oklahoma from the three-point line. Of course, 5 of those were made by Blakes.
Yeah, it's surprising. And then Oklahoma shot more free throws than Vanderbilt, which is also surprising. So that part was definitely flipped. But I think the Commodores are going to look, they got to get somebody else going. Blakes is phenomenal. Can she score at this pace for the rest of the season? Maybe, but they need their other stars. They need Amaya Moore to come to play. They need Camille Pierre to contribute this half. And Oklahoma's got to handle the ball. They can't turn it over.
For Blakes, it's already her 17th game of 20 points plus. We'll run down the foul trouble in just a moment because there's some significant foul trouble for the Commodores. Shoveling inside that. Oh, 2-pointer missed by Oliver, but the reset comes out to Moore. And Beers able to collect it off the scramble. Crowd on their feet until a made basket happens. Doesn't come from Verhulst. It does. Corner 3 is the 3rd 3 for Peyton Verhulst tonight.
And she's been a little quiet tonight, but that was a great start for Peyton Verhulst, all started by Sahara Williams on the other end, getting that rebound.
So foul trouble for Vanderbilt. Green has 3, and Mitchell has 3, and Blakes has the answer every single time.
And Raina Scott took a terrible route there through that screen. Blakes, excellent job reading it, getting some space.
27 for Blakes now. That's her 6th made 3, which is a new career high. Verhulst flashes and dashes and has 2 more. This time Scott defends Blakes, and a foul on Raina Scott. And Oklahoma's got foul trouble. That's 3 on Scott. Sahara Williams and Peyton Verhulst have 2 apiece.
That's tough.
By the way, Oliver and Pierre also have 2 for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So this could get tight foul-wise quickly.
Coach Baranczyk chooses to leave Scott in the game.
That 3 is rinsed by Waba.
Great shot by Waba. They're just completely not guarding her outside. They're leaving Oliver and Waba alone on the 3-point line. So making a couple of those will help extend that defense.
And Waba's about a 38% 3-point shooter. Sahara Williams has the answer for Oklahoma.
Back and forth we go. That's kind of how the first quarter started. Exchanging some threes.
All of Williams' points have come from the 3-point line. What a departure that is, and how improved from out there in 3-point land.
Yeah, just a reminder, she was the center for Oklahoma last year, the freshman.
Raina Scott lines one up. Counter-attack here from Ayanna Moore.
Nice controlled push there by Moore. Didn't have the numbers, pulled it back out.
Waba again. That one is home.
She's going to make them pay. I have a feeling Ralph pointed that out at halftime. You are wide open. Shoot the ball.
Wouldn't you love a coach to tell you that? Keep shooting it. Shoot more. Van had that one blocked, but retrieves it and puts it in. Pierre blocked it, but Skylar Van got it anyway.
I think you miss a couple and you start to think, like, man, I'm taking away from the team because I'm missing. But what people don't understand is not shooting it is actually taking away from the team. Getting a shot in the offense, it's so helpful. Even if you make it, you have rebounders in place.
Here's Pierre trying to go to work against Verhulst. Pierre's the double team and the block. Skylar Van's 3 misses, but there's Beers to collect it and score it.
And that was a great example of what we just said. Skylar Van taking an open shot in the offense. Reagan Beers in position for a putback.
So Oklahoma now with 9 offensive rebounds on the night and 11 second chance points. And a hand up on Moore. Blake's a 3. Got another. That's 7 threes for the freshman.
Raina Scott just dipped in to help a little bit on the drive, and you leave Blake's for a moment.
And an offensive foul against Raina Scott will be her 4th. Guess who took the bump?
Number 2, Raina Scott. Team foul number 2.
She's not going to get the steal there, but Michaela Blake's just a step ahead here. You see Raina Scott dive in on that drive. It's just too much space right now. Blake, the rim is an ocean right now for Michaela Blake. She could just toss it in.
7 made threes on the night, 63 made threes on the season, and 30 points for Blake's. The back down by Waba. Oliver a good cut. And the jump hook falls. 4-point game now as Oliver gets going.
Scary part is Pierre hasn't even really scored tonight.
Bill Pierre's averaging 20 a game. She has 2. Lexi Keys, dangerous game to leave her open. She's off the mark, though. Skylar Van, the retrieval, can't finish it. Who's got this one? Liz Scott. And Zaya Van missed that one. There's Skylar Van with position and a foul. Oklahoma owning the offensive glass.
Skylar Van just battling inside. 7 rebounds for her tonight. That's what she can do. That's what she brings. She's got such a great instinct and nose for the ball. Offensive rebound is all about instinct. You got to know where the ball's going to go. Skylar Van does an excellent job at that.
You know, and that's the way that she first kind of came to prominence, was that nose for the basketball that she has back as a freshman in soccer.
Some people just kind of know where the ball's going to land, and she's one of those.
Shot clock under 15. Verhulst triggers. Blake's. That was a good rebound, and she's fouled. Tangled up in there with Zaya Van and Liz Scott. That will be on Liz Scott. That is her first. Blake's average is about 4 rebounds, 3 assists. She's just got a toughness about her.
She's kind of all over the place. Every play has got her involved in it.
Now the Van pokes that one away, and Lexi Keys comes up with it for Oklahoma. Zaya Van, attack mode for 2 more.
Man, what a play. Hung a little bit in the air. Waba's such an athlete. Comes from an athletic family. Zaya Van just able to hang and convert.
Jenny Baranchek talking about how well Zaya Van has played, and almost as though Zaya didn't realize it a lot of times.
Yeah, I think she struggled a little bit mentally just throughout the season, normal freshman stuff, but she's really coming on late in the season. I think just understanding what her identity could be as a player.
Here she is on the attack again. Count the basket and a foul. It's a Van takeover.
Early in the year, I think it was more, let's get her some minutes, and now she's a prominent part of this offense. Zaya Van taking on Oliver, converting, extending Oklahoma's lead here in the third. Her moment's a little bit better maybe than she was. She's not forcing things. She's taking what the defense is giving her.
Michaela Blake's over 30 points tonight. It is the now 5th time she's had 30 or more in a game this season. Zaya Van converts the old-fashioned three-point play. She's got 10. 3 Sooners in double figures. Mitchell and Green on top. Late shot clock here. 5 to get one up for Blakes. She got it angled up. And Beatrice Culleton has the rebound for Oklahoma. Beers, open, bucket, and a foul. Great vision and ball movement to find the All-American.
And that's been Zaya Van all night. She's been putting it in the perfect position for Beers. You have to remember, Oklahoma has all these returners coming in that didn't play with Beers last year, but this is Zaya's first year playing, and Beers has been here obviously the whole time, so this is how she's learned how to play college ball, is through this post player, and you can see their progress as a team and how efficient they're getting at feeding her.
Oklahoma 16 assists on 22 made baskets. Reagan Beers, another old-fashioned three-point play. That's back-to-back old-fashioned three-point plays for Oklahoma. And the Sooners have an 8-0 run.
You can see Beers and Culleton just packing that paint, hanging out inside.
And taking advantage of it is Passat.
What they're going to have to do, they have to hit those open shots to draw that defender out.
Back to a 9-point game. Oklahoma's largest lead was just a moment ago, 12. Collapse on Beers. 3 for Zaya Van results, and it's down.
Beers returns the favor there. Zaya feeds her in and out. Defense collapse. Zaya takes advantage.
Oklahoma's made 9 threes tonight. Vanderbilt's made a dozen. Did you expect that?
Both teams are shooting excellent. Both teams can shoot excellent. So I think both coaches aren't surprised by it. They're probably just thrilled.
Mitchell almost too wide open on that one. And Beers has her 8th rebound. Sahara Williams, ball fake, up and under. Mitchell tipped that one. Taken in by Green.
That was a great pass, though, by Beers from the top of the key.
Passat in and out this time. Blake's just got a hand on that ball. Tipped it out of bounds. Back in for the Commodores will come Jordan Oliver. Some fans getting up close and personal there with Blake's. They're saying, you know, she's got 30 points. Sahara Williams 3, no. And there's Beers with a double-double now. Keys a 3, that's home. Oklahoma starting to open things up. And Vanderbilt taking a timeout. The Sooner lead is 15.
You can feel that lid kind of coming off. Coach Baranchek's talking about how she feels like they're on the brink offensively. Here you see Zaya Van, just an excellent pace to her right now, finding an open Sahara Williams. Inside out, back to Keys for the 3.
Saying the floodgates were about to open. Maybe this is the siren at the dam signifying to opposing defenses that the floodgates have opened.
Yeah, I'm sure she would like that. And I think we've seen glimpses of this from Oklahoma throughout the year, but it'll be interesting to see if they can sustain this the rest of the game.
Foul Foul trouble for the Commodores. Camille Pierre has not been a part of things. She's 1 of 7 from the field. She's got 3 fouls. She's been on the bench most of this third period. Commodores have 3 players with 3 fouls apiece. Mitchell off with that one. There's the 11th rebound for Reagan Beers. Now Culleton gets the favor returned by Beers, and she scores.
Flip-flop positions there on that play. There's a nice couple passes the last few possessions.
So Oklahoma offense now 25 made buckets, and they've assisted on 19 of them. Blake's partially blocked there by Lexi Keys on the way up. Williams, baseline spin. Quick touch pass to Beers from Williams and another bucket.
That was great ball movement by Oklahoma. Patient but intentional without hesitation. That's what they've been looking for.
10-0 Sooner run to lead by 19, their largest lead. And Blake's tripped up there by Keys. That'll be the first foul on Lexi Keys tonight.
Here's this ball movement we talked about. Goes to high post, comes out, and then the quick pass. That window is so small. They're calling 3 seconds this season really quickly. Reagan Beard doing a nice job of sealing at the appropriate time, and Sahara Williams just finding her.
That is foul number 4 against the Sooners in this quarter, so Commodores will be in the bonus on the next Oklahoma infraction. Vanderbilt, though, has not gone to the foul line here in the third. Staple of their game. Pierre back in there with 3 fouls. This is Passat, no good. And Skylar Vance having a night on the boards. That's her 9th. She's got 6 offensive rebounds tonight. Beers, the back down, blocked, but a foul against Justine Passat. And 2 more free throws here for Reagan Beers.
When Reagan Beard is single coverage like that inside, it's just pretty impossible to guard. Oklahoma doing a nice job going over the top when the defense is fronting her, but that time defense was just playing on the high side, and you just have to hope and pray at that point.
Talked with Jenny Baranchek this year about watching how other teams game plan for Reagan Beers, and Reagan Beers' teammates starting to notice what other teams have to do just to try to keep her contained.
Yeah, Kentucky's coach, Kenny Brooks, called her the hardest person to guard in the conference, which you're talking about the SEC, you're one of the best players in the country, and it's quite the testament.
Beers 2 more free throws. 23 points, 12 rebounds for Reagan Beers. Tough follow-away angle that time for Pierre, but a reset for Blake's. Missed that one. She's made 7 threes in this game. Verhulst, tightly guarded by Pierre. How to avoid that 4th foul there. 5 left in the quarter. Van, lob it in for Beers, and she just went right up and scored. What a quarter for the Sooners. They scored 34 points in 10 minutes.
Wow, jubilation on the sideline for Oklahoma. Peyton Verhulst handling the pressure of Pierre. Skylar Van finding her post player inside. Excellent finish by Beers. Just have to take care of the game in front of us, and I'm sure that's what both these crews are thinking on the sideline.
And both these teams listed among the 10 SEC teams by Charlie Cream and bracketology. Oklahoma would be a host site. They would be one of the top 4 seeds in their region if the NCAA tournament started today. And both coaches said, listen, you can go down a rabbit hole talking about who plays who and what matchups. It's just take care of your business.
It is crazy to think that you could be below 500 and get into the tournament. It's wild.
Easily. Skylar Van drills a 2 from up top. 8 points, 9 rebounds for Skylar Van tonight.
She says if she gets going on the board, her offense usually follows, and that's what's definitely happened tonight for Van.
Beers Watches Waba. Into the hands of Blakes. Now Pierre, tough night shooting, and that one misses as well.
And that was her shot. You see her hustling down, though. Tough night for her, staying in the game.
Lexi Keys gets one to rim in. Oklahoma's made 11 threes on the night. That's the second for Keys.
Coach Bronchek kind of got in Lexi Keys' shorts last game, telling her she has to shoot the ball when she's open.
Passat, what a tough shot that was. She got it off through Beers.
She's had a nice game tonight, really taking what the defense has given her.
9 points for Passat. But the Sooners have an answer all night long. $29-point lead for Oklahoma. And Passat couldn't find the handle there. Skylar Vann takes it away. Beers tangled up. Both Beers and Kapnis slow to get up. Kapnis still needing a little bit of assistance. The foul is on Kapnis. Just the first on Kapnis.
This league is emotional. You're fighting physically every single night. And it can get emotional. It can get exhausting.
Verhulst lines up another. That one's swatted into the hands of Liz Scott. And Williams had it knocked away. Blakes came from behind to poke it away. Blakes gets a little screen off the mark. Pierre scrambles to get the loose ball, and she's fouled.
I like seeing Pierre get in there, trying to get going on the offensive boards.
Pierre, honestly, is almost in the infancy of her basketball learning, Whitney. She was a very talented soccer player, and then in high school had to make the decision which sport to play.
Yeah, she's only been playing basketball full-time for 4 years. There she is with her third and fourth points of the night, but averaging 20 this year. She couldn't even really make it through an SEC game last year. It was just too much for her, and now here she is on All-American list. Here she is on Player of the Year list. Her talent is just exceptional.
An offensive foul called underneath against Skylar Vann. Blakes had good defensive position that time. And Skylar Vann picks up her second personal, second team foul against Oklahoma as well. And the Commodores get on a run, narrow the gap. Pierre, that's her third field goal, but 2 of them come on the last 3 trips.
She can score in bunches, though. We've seen her score quickly.
To be atop the turnover. Vanderbilt with Blakes on the drive. And it will stay here. They say the Sooners touched it last.
Coach Bronchek saying, be quiet, just play.
Green lobs out top, and the top fouls kind of undercutting Kapnis. Fouls mounting up. Vanderbilt struggled to get to the free throw line in that third period. In fact, they have not shot a free throw in this half. Remember, they didn't shoot a free throw in the first quarter, fell behind, then got to the line and got back into it. Oliver knocks one home. 8 for Oliver now.
That's 6 quick points for Vanderbilt. It happens quickly. People can score in bunches, especially these 2 teams. They play so quickly.
That'll be the 3rd foul on Michaela Blakes, trying to poke it away from Tot. Reagan Beers back in for Oklahoma. Skylar Vann gets a breather. Reagan Beers back in there with the double-double tonight. 10th of the year and 40th of her career.
Such a talent. Good to see her getting going this game after a few games off.
But Scott posting up inside. Oklahoma can't get it there. Late shot clock here for Zia Vann. Cap Capanis comes over for the steal. Pierre fouled, and she'll shoot a pair. Fouls mounting for Oklahoma, and if Vanderbilt's going to get back into it, maybe this is the way.
Absolutely. You want to stop the clock. You want to get to the free throw line. But that previous possession for Oklahoma is the tension in playing with the post. They're sitting there staring in the inside. Got a couple open girls, not sure where to pass it. That's the hesitancy that Coach Baranczyk talks about when he talks about, we got to be able to make the pass quickly. So they're looking for the ball movement to find those windows.
You know, before the two 50-point outbursts by Michaela Blakes, Camille Pierre had a 42-point game against Evansville, by the way.
About it.
She also had 18 rebounds and 8 steals in that game.
In her 6th year of playing basketball. That's crazy. She really is so talented. She's so athletic and smooth. And she's our team steal leader. That soccer experience really allows her to take great angles defensively.
That foul is the 3rd on Oliver. Now the Commodores have 5 players with 3 fouls apiece. 6:24 left to play. Boy, Oliver's been tough. 8 points, 4 rebounds. That's actually her 4th, I beg your pardon. Just updated. Sahara Williams 3-ball. Beers claims it. Liz Scott, it's like a volleyball match between the two of them.
And what a read by Peyton Verhulst coming in on that out of bounds, noticing where the double teams were. Excellent poise.
Capanis lines that one up and home.
Capanis been a little bit quiet tonight. She brings a lot of experience to this Commodore team.
13 made threes for the Commodores tonight as Sahara Williams, a Beers rebound and 2 more. That's been a big part of the night for Oklahoma.
Yeah, it feels like this rebounding attack is pretty relentless.
A 23-point lead for Oklahoma, 5.5 left. And are they going to get Pierre or Verhulst with that one? It'll be, it's one number 12. Who's number 12 committed it?
12 versus 12.
They get the foul on Peyton Verhulst, 2 exits. Verhulst just so, I mean, look at her stat line. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, couple of block shots.
It's just what she does. She hasn't even had an incredible game to her standards, but she ends a game with just that stat line. That's Peyton Verhulst. She's just who her team needs her to be.
As that NCAA waiver, she'll be back for another year next season. Pierre is starting to get it going here. This is more of the Camille Pierre and her game that Vanderbilt fans and SEC fans have seen.
Yeah, you saw that ISO for her the last possession. Coach Ralph trying to get her forward going.
Van at the controls for Oklahoma. She's had a very good night. That strip, though, Oliver took it. Or beg pardon, Waba. And then a foul against Van. And the Commodores are in the bonus. So 2 free throws coming here.
Foul's going to Sooners, number 3, first personal.
It's a learning process for all those freshmen, Whitney.
You forget that they're freshmen, though.
You do.
You talk about it at the beginning of the season, and then at this point in the season, you expect so much from them, especially just with the talent that they have. But Michaela Blakes is a freshman. This is her first February playing, which is it's like a marathon. She's at mile 25, and she's got to be exhausted. It's crazy.
Knocks down that free throw, 6 of 7 from the line tonight. 7 made threes and 31 points. Quiets the crowd at the Lloyd Noble Center. It was fan appreciation night. Inclement weather in lots of our country, obviously, but in the Oklahoma City, Norman area, so free admission for fans. Sahara Williams locked up inside with Capanis. And Sahara Williams picks up another. So Capanis has committed her 2nd. Pierre tips the inbound and steals it. One-on-one against Keys, and Keys commits the foul. Now this is more the Vanderbilt team that has been a menace for opposing offenses.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do. They sneak up on you and they really get those turnovers. They love that middle of the court pass. They try to jump it. And Camille Pierre, again, I think her angles are just incredible because of her experience. And this day and age, you have a lot of young kids specializing so quickly, but I think the Michaela Blakes, the Camille Pierres really show you what multi-sports can kind of do for you and really give you an edge in different parts of the game that maybe you don't think about.
Shea Ralph described the things that Camille Pierre is going through. She said it's a slow drip.
She has to remember that she doesn't know all the things that you probably knew because you grew up playing, but I think it also allows her to have maybe more enjoyment than the normal, 20-year-old would have at this point in their career. Everything's still pretty new and fresh.
And foul on Mitchell is her fourth. And Reagan Beers back to the foul line. With Beers, when you look at the stat line, you go 27 and 14. It's impressive. But what she has forced Vanderbilt to do because of the fouls that she draws, I mean, it's hard to put that into a statistical analysis, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's tied her career high with that made free throw.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think her presence, it's not only the stat sheet, it's astronomical what she does in the stat sheet, but then the attention she gets and the fatigue that wears into the defenses trying to handle that kind of presence is just, it's really astounding.
Blake's had that one taken by Zaya Van. She'll try to convert and does. That's 16 for Zaya Van now. Oklahoma with 92 points in this game.
Shooting 60% from the field.
Pierre in traffic earns a pair more. Career high for Reagan Beers. She's added 14 rebounds. And the Sooners comfortably on top by 21. Losing 2 games with illness for Reagan Beers. As Camille Pierre lines up a pair. Only 2 points in the first half for Pierre, and then picked up that third foul. Did not get to play much at all in the third quarter. And now 11 points for her.
That makes a difference, too. They're only losing by 4 when she's on the court, so it's a huge factor.
Zaya Van hanging in the air to find Beers. Beautiful pass.
Zaya Van and Reagan Beers have had a thing going on tonight. Their connection tonight has been, it's been awesome. They're just telepathic. 16
points, 4 assists for Zaya Van now, and Beers now has her new career high of 30 points. Lexi Keys. She's made 2 tonight. And there's Keys fouling Blakes, trying to run through the passing lane and get a steal. That will be 3 fouls on Keys. And 2 free throws here for Blakes. So Blakes has only scored 2 points here in the fourth quarter. Now, Pierre has gotten more involved, but Oklahoma's done a better job defensively. That's 33 for the night. It's, again, 5th time with 30 or better on the season.
And Blake hasn't come out of this game, played the entire game of their overtime game the other night. We really haven't seen a ton of the trapping from Vanderbilt tonight that we thought we would see. Been pretty focused on the paint defensively.
Wide open is Skylar Van, and Keys found her.
There's that movement, great off-ball body movement by Skylar Van, and then ball movement by the guards.
3 minutes to go. Oklahoma by 22. Sooners trying to get to the 20-win mark for the 5th consecutive year. That'll be a traveling violation against Mitchell. And again, you catch it, Beers is there, and there's that hesitancy.
Yeah, I mean, she just takes up so much space. But here's that ball movement. Lexi Keys going in and out here. And just the recognition of Skylar Van, noticing that that block was wide open, moving into the gaps.
Commodores get a steal, but Lexi Keys takes it right back for Oklahoma. Van bumped Pierre will pick this one up. That's 4 on Camille Pierre. And free throws here for Skylar Van.
Camille Pierre, 4 personal. Madison Green, number 4, in for Vandy.
Blakes is out for the first time tonight. We'll see if she comes back in. If she does not, we're talking 34, 4 rebounds, 3 assists with 7 made threes.
Yeah, she's earned herself a little seat over there. Maybe a nice bath after this week.
It's been an emergence with Skylar Van over about the last 4 or 5 games for Oklahoma. Whitney.
Yeah, they needed to get her going into postseason play. She's just a veteran leader, co-Big 12 Player of the Year last year. She can not only fill it up, but she's really a glue that drives this team. When she's doing well, the team's usually going in the right direction.
Nearing a double-double is Skylar Van tonight, 11 points and 9 boards. Lexi Keys wreaking more havoc on the defensive end. That's something Jenny Baranczyk has really talked about. Everybody talks about Lexi Keys shooting threes, but her defensive presence is known by her teammates.
She's been a difference maker tonight defensively. She got the tap after Raina Scott got in foul trouble defending Blakes, and she's done a heck of a job.
That'll be a foul, I believe, on Kapnis or Madison Green. They'll get Kapnis. That's 3 on Kapnis. And Oklahoma is in the bonus. So Zaya Van will have a chance to reach a career high. Jenny Baranczyk coming into the game wanted to limit the turnovers. Obviously, Oklahoma tonight has had 20. But again, it's the acceptable ones and the non-acceptable ones. They have just moved the ball so well, so effectively tonight. And Reagan Beers has been a force.
Yeah, if you take out that second quarter, they had a few turnovers back to back there in that second quarter. But other than that, it's been fairly clean for the Sooners tonight.
Madison Green out there at the controls. Here's Kapnis. Pierre's long miss just rolls on out of bounds with 2:05 to play. Oklahoma will be at Arkansas Sunday. Then they go to Florida. They host Alabama to conclude the regular season. And Vanderbilt, they will host South Carolina Sunday, host Texas A&M, and then at Missouri to close up the regular season before everybody convenes in Greenville, South Carolina for the SEC Championship. That's 5 on Camille Pierre. And just really saddled with foul trouble much of the night. She'll wind up with 11 points and 4 rebounds. Learning process is ongoing for this super talented sophomore.
Yeah, it's barely even begun to scratch the surface of what she's capable of.
So now Blakes and Pierre both over there. The only tandem in the country, both averaging 20 points per game. 2 more free throws there for Skylar Van.
First time in a while, I think, for Vanderbilt. Blakes and Pierre on the sidelines.
And Zaya Van has committed her 3rd foul. Jenny Baranczyk going to go to the bench here. And the night done for a lot of the starters for the Sooners.
Receiving a well-deserved ovation from these fans here tonight.
Oklahoma, Landry Allen, Kirsten Johnson, Aubrey Jones, and Kaya Smith in for the first time. Nevaeh Tot returns as well. And Green knocks down a free throw. Green will get another year, received a medical red shirt for last season, but she's had double figures 9 times off the bench. That real bench punch for Shea Ralph and the Commodores.
She hit 4 threes the other night at Mississippi State against an excellent Mississippi State defense.
There's a steal. Waba runs to the other end, but kind of short-armed that. Stuck up and in, though, by Madison Green. So Oklahoma going to get to 20 wins for the 4th consecutive season under Jenny Baranczyk. I'm talking with Shea Ralph. She played as a player. These two coached against each other as assistant coaches. Shea Ralph was at Pitt, and Jenny Baranczyk was at Marquette in the Big East. So they've got a history that goes back. And Shea Ralph, as a player winning a national title at Connecticut back in 2000, they defeated Oklahoma in the Sweet 16 that year. And so we were asking her about that. She said, I don't really remember that, but I do remember a practice in the Lloyd Noble Center as a player that is etched into my mind that Gino Auriemma put them through back in the day.
Those early Gino days, I'm sure, were fairly intense. I can't really imagine. She said she was the one he liked to yell at. Those are usually the best ones.
Was longtime assistant at Connecticut as well. Most outstanding player of the national championship year. Since you remembered certainly playing against Stacey Dales and some of those great teams that Oklahoma had. Stacey Dales taking the Sooners to the Final Four in 2002.
Yeah, watching their shoot around, you could just feel the business-like nature of Shea Ralph. She does things well, professional. It's just about her business. She's going to get it done.
Under a minute left. Landry Allen with under 10 to shoot here for the Sooners. There's Aubrey Jones, veteran player, 3rd season as an Oklahoma Sooner, and what a conversion. So Oklahoma is over the century mark. 5th time they've done that this season. That is a program record.
They picked a nice time to explode on offense here late in SEC play.
That 3 is down as Aga Makara coming off the bench tonight. 12th game that she has played. That's her 10th made 3 of the year. And Oklahoma going to be able to run out the clock on this one. Got to be a pretty satisfying win, wouldn't you think, for Jenny Baranczyk and the Sooners, Whitney?
Well, absolutely. They're, separated by such a small margin in the SEC, and being able to come and put this kind of performance on, it's got to feel good.
Well, she is 4 for 4 with 20-win seasons as Sooner head coach, but I promise you that's not going to matter to her. What she's excited about is the progress she is seeing from her team. A lot more film sessions, and she said, hey, we're getting it. That's a good sign.
Yeah, they're hungry. She said they still want to learn, they want to grow, and again, you're at the most important part of your season. It doesn't matter what happened before now. Right now, all you're worried about is the game's right in front of you, and if you're still progressing into March. So she's got to be thrilled with this performance from her team.